The outrage is palpable as they claim the Orioles can't get more than 90 wins without this man, Ace Corbin Burnes. The question now, does Mike Elias have enough to get the Orioles over the 90-win hump? Hello, everybody. I'm Jon Leiberman. You may know me from True Crime Television. You may know me from The Howard Stern Show. You probably know me as an avid Orioles fan, and that's what I am. And look, folks, we all know as Orioles fans, look at this batting helmet. Beaten, bruised, battered. Orioles fans are used to being beaten, bruised, and battered and underestimated. And I'm about to tell you who is now underestimating the Birds once again. Please like, subscribe. We're getting so close to that 1,000 subscriber mark. We want you along for that ride with us. So become our 1,000th subscriber. And now to the main event. That is this baseball prospectus. If you look deep into Baseball Prospectus, which just was released moments ago, you will see they simulate the Orioles with 89.2 wins. 89.2 wins for the Orioles. As you know, we were 91-71 last year. So they're basically taking what amounts to 2 wins away from the Orioles, most likely because as of this point, Mike Elias has not been able to land an ace for Brandon Hyde to use as the number 1 starter. And if you really dig into these numbers, look, on the bright side, 77.5% playoff percentage chance that the Orioles make the playoffs. But again, 89.2, half game below the Yankees, essentially saying that we are going to be 2 games worse than last year, that essentially without an ace, we are 2 games worse than last year. What do you think, my friends? Are we 2 games worse, or can we indeed get to that 90-win point? Now, if you remember last year, of course, it was the bats that were flailing down the stretch. It wasn't indeed the pitching. Speaking of pitching, why don't we take a gander at what our projected starting rotation looks like? Grayson Rodriguez, Zach Eflin, then you have Charlie Morton, then you have Tomoyuki Sugano, and then you have Dean Kramer. This is our projected starting rotation as we sit here today, with still a tiny bit of time before spring training kicks off. So a lot could happen. And the other thing that isn't reflected here are the question marks of Tyler Wells, Kyle Bradish, and of course John Means, who could be, he is a free agent. Will the Orioles sign him or not? It remains to be seen. So the question is, are you outraged? Are you outraged over this claim that the Orioles can't get over 90 wins because we don't have an ace like Corbin Burnes, and Mike Elias has done some things during the offseason, but nothing that might qualify as anything splashy? Now, speaking of splashy, let's look at the lineup, the projected lineup. What have we lost? We know we've lost Anthony Santander. We know that. But still, this is a pretty formidable lineup when you look at it. When you look at Gunnar, Adley, Ryan O'Hearn. Then, of course, you have the pickup of Tyler O'Neill right there in the heart of the order. Colton Cowser, Ryan Mountcastle, Mountie is still in there. Cedric, Jordan Westberg, and of course, Jackson Holliday to bring up the rear of the lineup. Of course, on the bench, you have a number of players. Mateo, you have others that we have picked up recently. And frankly, Heston Kjerstad right now, Kobe Mayo. So your lineup is similar to last year. Your starting rotation has more depth than last year, one could argue. But indeed, if you look at, Baseball Prospectus and what they are talking about right now, they are basically saying that the Orioles can't get more than 90 wins, can't get to that promised land, can't bring home what the Orioles want to bring home. And again, a deeper dive into these numbers show this isn't all negative, right? Still having the Orioles make the playoffs as a wild card team, gives them a 39% chance to win the division. But again, it puts them as an 89-win team. So, my friends, I ask you, if you believe this, and if the Orioles are only an 89-win team, what would get the Orioles to, say, a 90-win team or a 100-win team? Is it Michael King? Do you believe that Michael King could take the Orioles to the promised land? That's Jason Adam, a little bit off center, but another San Diego hurler that could come along with Michael King. Do you believe that they could take the Orioles where they need to go? Do you believe that this pickup that the Orioles just made, a speedy, young rookie from the Cubs, will he make a difference? Will Luis Vasquez make a difference? Of course, all of these things remain to be seen, but it's clear, a couple things are clear. The first thing that is clear is the media clearly thinks Mike Elias hasn't done enough this offseason. He has shored up the middle relief, there's no doubt about that, and if Félix Bautista comes back, you have a great bullpen right now. I say great. He has shored up the lineup. Yes, you lose Santander, but you get O'Neill and you have a couple bats off the bench and you're essentially a wash in your lineup. So the big question mark remains the starting pitching. And what will Mike Elias do with just a handful of days left before pitchers and catchers report? That is the big question. But the big news of the day, of course, is Baseball Prospectus releasing what they say is a sub-90 win season for the Orioles. Also a sub-90 win season for the Yankees, unless you round up the 89.7. I want to hear from you. Give me the comments. What does it take for the Orioles to get over 90 wins? What does it take for them to get over 95? Like, subscribe. This is Orioles Digest, and I'm Jon Leiberman. Thank you so much for watching.